ladies and gentlemen, bass players, Detroit bass players around the world, bass players in Italy. Guess who I? It's amazing. Uh, I've been I've been trying to do this for ages. Guess who I'm interviewing right now? Tell us your name, sir.
My name is Federico Malaman.
Now, for those of you that's been under a rock, like I was previously, you are one of the best bass players in the world right now.
I don't think so, but thank you very much.
I mean, when we have our show called Detroit Bass Players in the Basement, and we do interviews with other bass players and stuff, and your name comes up quite frequently when they say who's some of the bass players you listen to or some of your favorite bass players. Your name
Wow.
comes up quite frequently. And then the first time I saw you about a year ago, I was like, holy smoke, this guy is awesome, right? And
Thank you.
not only are you an awesome bass player that just can play your butt off, but you look like you having so much fun when you play.
Yeah,
Uh,
because music is passion, have fun, and have a contact directly with your crowd, okay, with people. And so, if I'm happy to play, maybe you will happy to hear. I don't know. I
yeah.
try.
Now, you say your English is not so good, but
No.
I gotta let you know that is your English is awesome. I can understand everything you're saying. So
Thank you.
I'm just gonna ask you a couple of questions, man. And for educational purposes for me and
Yeah.
entertainment purposes, and maybe you can inspire me as well. When did you start playing the bass, and why?
I was 12 years old, and when I started, because I was 10 when I was thinking to play bass, because I have listened to a CD that was an Italian artist. The name was Zucchero Sugar for Nacciari, and the bass player was Polo Jones. And Polo is the bass player of Whitney Houston in Bodyguard
Okay.
soundtrack. Okay,
Uh,
and I think yes. And before him, with Zucchero, there was Randy Jackson, bass
right.
player. Maybe you know Randy Jackson. And
Yes.
so and now he is a producer in US. And I heard this instrument, and I was 10, and I asked to my father, because my father play a little bit guitar, and I told him, "What is this?" He told me, "It's a bass." Okay, I want to play bass. Okay, so I start when I was 12 with my first band. My band was me, my father, and my neighbor. We
Mm-hmm.
were playing only in home, okay, only home. And then I started to study music seriously, and I have done. I've started to play piano when I was 6 with my cousin, that is a great piano player,
Okay.
and then I went to school, music school, before with violin, and then with double bass, because there was no double bass when I was 12 in school. In school, yes. And then I changed a little bit size, from violin to double bass.
Right.
And so I start to study classical music with double bass with bow, and I have done the exams, the license, final license, and then I changed. I changed a little bit because I prefer to play jazz with double bass, and I prefer to play bass, and so I changed a little bit, and I start to work in on TV shows in Italy.
Right. So that was my next question. Where do you reside? Uh, where are you from? Where do you reside?
I'm from the real town is Noventa Vicentina. Is a very small town, not far from Venice. 1 hour drive from Venice, and so it was not so simple because when you are in a small town, you are not in Rome, you are not in Milano, where the music
Right.
is something. You are
Right.
in a little place, and so. But there was a beautiful scene, musical scene over there, done by young people, and
Okay.
so there was movement, and we started to create bands with funk stuff or something like this, jazz stuff. And now there are a lot of musicians over there around Venice, around Vicenza, and so I grew up with those guys, and then I changed my mind after the first NAMM show in
Okay.
2009. I was only trying to have something, to have inspiration
Right.
from the others, and so I thought it's time to go to the NAMM show. And after that, I have seen a lot of bass players that was better than me, and they are better than me now. But no problem. I had the right inspiration
Right.
after
Okay.
them.
Okay. So that brings me to uh who is, look. Look. If I can name five bass players, now everybody has their own criteria of what makes a great bass player. Somebody say if you just sit in the pocket and just do this all day, that's an awesome bass player. And then some people like you that can do runs and modes and shapes and different shapes and any key. Some people say that's awesome. So I lean towards the more awesome, what I call more sophisticated bass lines, even though that doesn't work in every song. But your improvisation is like up there with the top five that. And I know a lot of bass players, and your improv is like way up there. So my question is, first, who are some of the bass players that 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 you listen to that inspired you to go to the next level, to take it up a notch, and yeah, just why did you take it up a notch? Why are you so good? I put it like that.
First of all, I don't think to be so good.
I
First of all,
understand.
then the first one, the really first one, was John Patitucci.
Okay,
Yeah,
a six
and
string guy.
yeah, and I was listening to him, and then I was listening to Tom Kennedy with Dave Wackel Band.
Ooh, yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
and I was shocked, and then I start to listen, and between the bass players, the famous bass players, Jaco Pastorius was the last one
yeah.
I heard. Before I heard John Patitucci, Tom Kennedy, Anthony Jackson, Marcus Miller, Stanley Clark, Jeff Berlin, and then
Oh yeah.
Jaco. And when I heard Jaco, it was like, oh, wait,
Ex-
this is something more, I think.
right. Now,
And
yeah. Now you're a young fella. I think you were like I graduated from high school in 1979. I think you were like born in 1979, right?
yes,
So
I'm 38 today.
So I have to share with you when Jocko was alive and they made those recordings, Weather Report and Jocko made those recordings in like 76 and 77, and somebody
Right.
turned me on to them. I was 16 at the time, and when I heard Jocko play the bass, it was for me, it was like changing. It was like a religion. If I was one religion prior, it's like I'm switching religions because this man makes he is so melodic on the bass, and I had no idea that you could take bass to those type of levels.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know who some of your favorite bass players, but you must have studied for what's your practice routine to get as good as you are. Did you put in some time to practice, or are you like a child prodigy that's gifted and stuff like that?
I'm not a great student. Okay.
Uh
I'm a little bit lazy.
okay.
But when I heard Adrian Ferro,
Uh
I was like, okay, I have to study, I have to be like him.
right.
And but it was I would like to be like him, like level, because nobody can be like him. Nobody can be like Marcus, because
Right.
nobody can be like Vitor. You know,
Yeah.
everybody has something. But I started to play with a bass, classical stuff like Bach
Yeah.
or
We- One of my favorites is something
yeah,
like that. I
that
forgot.
one. Yeah.
Show was sweet
Uh,
in G
and
major.
so yeah, and you can't do technical things with music,
Hmm.
because you have to study music and not only chops. You
Right.
have to try to create your chops with music,
Right.
and what I think is my opinion, and inside the harmony, inside the chords, not random chops. Okay. And then my favorite bass player is Charlie Parker. It's not a
I
bass player.
understand. I understand exactly what you're saying. Right.
One of my favorite inspiration, of course, I mean, is
Right.
Charlie Parker or John Coltrane or Randy Brecker or saxophone player or the player, because you have to think when you do a solo that you have a voice. You don't have only an instrument, because if you, yes, of course, there are rules in music. When I
Uh-huh.
have to comp, I have to comp. I don't have to do solos during my comp, and so I have to do doom, 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 doom,
Right.
doom, and be in the pocket. But if I have to do a solo, is another thing. It's another
Exactly.
thing. You have a voice, and so your voice is a deep voice, but you can do phrases with that voice. Uh, it means that not only the soprano can do the solo part, the
Exactly.
bass, the male bass can do the solos. like this,
Mm.
and I don't have to be. No, I can do the solo in a deeper register than
Right.
yeah, yeah. And so when I play solos, I think to be a horn player.
Right.
Yeah.
Well. Your chops are awesome, man, and I've seen many videos of you, and sometimes you have different types of basses. What kind of basses are you playing, and what kind of strings do you use?
Okay. I have two bases, two companies for electric basses, and I have one company for semi-acoustic bass, half acoustic. I don't know how to tell. It's not acoustic.
Right.
It's quite acoustic bass. I don't know. And the two brand are Laurus bass, Italian bass, and the other one is Mayones bass from Poland. And then I have Manne bass, that is a sort of acoustic bass.
Okay.
And I use IQS strings. I have the signature of IQS strings,
Never heard
and
of it.
it's 045 to 125. Yeah,
For the B string.
and yeah, for the B string. And I have nickel round wound,
All right.
and
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So because you be flying, man, I can't even give you an example because you're so awesome, and I don't practice like it says.
Yeah.
Okay, so how is your action on your basses? Are you sitting low to the fretboard, or do you have your action a little bit raised? Because it depends on how people play the way they should set up their basses. So how is your setup on your basses? Your action?
Usually it's very low. It's not so low that one person can think, but it's low because you have to be relaxed when you play.
Mm,
Okay, and sometimes I have problems with my arms. When you play, and so you have to have a low action,
right.
and play not so softly, but not hard, because if you do fast things, it's better if the bass is very easy to play.
Right. I always wondered about that, about you and your setup and everything, and so for me as a bass player, usually I play jazz, gospel, R&B. I've toured with classic rock bands. I've toured with Motown bands and stuff like that. But I have my action kind of low, and I usually just play normal. But sometimes I want to dig in real, just and kind of have a little fret buzz with it.
Yeah.
Do you ever dig in and just go, you know what I'm saying? Dig in and get that poppy kind of slappy sound just from playing like regular. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have to force a little bit, but eh, it's okay. Usually I play very soft, and so I don't have problems with sound usually.
Buzzes and stuff. Okay, well, look, man, I ain't want to keep you, but I've been stalking you for how long? I've been stalking you about a year now. It's like, hey, man, let me get that interview. Are you ever coming to Detroit? And I tell you what, if you ever come to Detroit, you will be able to fill you will be able to fill a theater because Detroit bass players love you out
Thank
here,
you.
man. Really, I'm sure
Thank
they
you.
do all over the world, but we love you here. And then I've seen you team up with some awesome bass players. Another one I reached out to was Mahini Day.
Yeah.
What do you think about her as a? I mean, she's like a killer.
I can't say what I really think.
Oh, okay. But she's a
She's so great. She's great. Simply great. Young, talented, and
yeah,
great. With music, with chops, great chops, with super speed,
yeah,
and there are a lot of bass player, young bass player that I love, and one of the youngest is Jacob Collier, because Jacob can play bass, and
right.
he is one of my favorites.
I've
Then
seen
we
him
have,
play everything.
yeah, then there is Moini, there is Mono Neon. Do you
Oh
know?
yeah, the guy that wears stuff over
Yeah,
his
yeah, yeah, yeah,
face.
yeah. Super bass
What
player
if
Anton Davidans from Russia. Of course, I told you before. Adrian Ferro, Cody Wright with a pick.
that's one of my new buddies, Cody. He plays with the guitar player Eric Gales right now.
Eric Gale, yeah. And then there
What
are a
about
lot of
what
young
about
musicians that.
Michael Pippa Quia from Brazil, the little young guy?
Oh, Papuquinha.
Yeah,
I love him. I love him. I love Braguinha from Brazil, Junior Braguinha. Then in Brazil, there are a lot of great bass players.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, Papuquinha is one of my favorites
what
with
I
Junior too.
yeah, I saw him when he was 10 years, not
Yeah,
personally, but thanks to YouTube and everything like that. I saw video clips of when he was 10, and I said, Lord, let him continue to play the bass. And
yeah,
now he's like 18, and he's like,
he's a beast.
right. And there's guys like that, like I said, I don't practice, but I'm an instructor. I play every week. I tour. And what I mean by that I don't practice is I don't practice to improve myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I only practice songs that I have to learn, and of course all of that comes easy for me, and I have to touch the bass because I teach private lessons. I teach via Skype. I have students all over
yeah.
United States and in Canada. Now, do you teach
Yes,
private lessons?
I have one site where you can buy my lessons. I'm building a lot of courses now. I have free courses, and the site is malamanbaselessons.com. That lessons are in Italian language with subtitles in English, but now I will decide to do it in English too. So I know that for one person that speak English is very hard to listen to an Italian guy speak Italian with subtitles in English, and so I will try to do my best with this language English. And so for now, I have this kind of course on malamanbaselessons.com, and then I have master classes around Italy or Europe, and I love to teach because I would like to help who wants to make musician life, you know,
Uh,
and I would like to try to help. I don't know if I help really, but I would like to try to help one person that would like to play the bass. Or I love to do classes with different instruments too.
yeah. Like, what
Yeah,
other instruments do you teach?
uh, I play a little bit piano and drums, and so
Uh,
when I do classes, usually I would like to heard to do exercises with the band. So not only songs that they know, but theory applied in the music, you know. And I would like to do this kind of classes. Of course, I love to do only bass players classes because
Right.
we are talking the same language.
Okay, again, so I know you right now you're in the United States, right?
Yeah,
For
right now I'm in LA for the
for the
NAM
NAM
show.
show,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So you're gonna get to meet a lot of people, and I'm gonna get to see some videos,
yeah.
and a lot of those people that you meet from Detroit, they know me. If you ever get a chance, just Google. I mean, go to YouTube and in the search part, just type in Detroit bass players,
Yeah,
and then you'll get smothered with a whole bunch of the interviews that I do, and just check one or two of them out, and and before I let you go, man, because I know you got things to do, because I ain't want to keep you. You know what I'm saying? I kind of do, because like you, one of my favorite bass players, and
yeah.
I'm 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 feeling real good right now because I'm talking to one of the best in the world.
Oh,
But
thank you.
I know how you feel, trust me. But if I was to come and take a lesson with you, and again, I'm an instructor and I know theory, I know a lot about different chords and chord construction and all of that. But my biggest issue, and you will hear this on several of my videos, my biggest issue is where to draw my inspiration for is for as far as improvising. Like, say something was in the key of like A minor or something. Okay, I'll do some A minor stuff. Then I might go to its relative major, which is C major, and then mess around in there, and then hit some modes, and then some different shapes. So just what would be something that you would suggest to me, uh, and your free, don't charge me voice. What something real quick that you would tell me, to get me started, get me back to practicing again, to be a better improviser. Where's my
It's
money
not.
at?
It, it's a serious question. The thing is, don't overrate the major scale,
Okay.
cause with intervals, with arpeggios, you can create a lot of stuff. If you, I can suggest one person that is a great teacher that you can see on YouTube with videos that
Anthony Wellington.
the name is Jeff Berlin, the great
Oh,
Jeff Berlin,
yeah.
and he has a lot of interesting things to say about improvisation because he's a giant, you know, and he knows exactly to go how to go directly to the point, and he show you on videos how to have a different level of improvisation. Because when I improvise, I'm thinking every time where I have to go, and it's when you improvise, you have to be able to do it, and so you have to study before.
Yeah, you got to think ahead. Kind of like in chess, you got to think ahead. What's my next
Improvisation
move?
is a melody, you know. You are doing. It's my opinion, of course. You are building a melody,
Right.
fast or slow. It doesn't matter, but you are building something that it's like a new melody. Okay, and so if you know the notes and how to combine a little bit, you can find a way to improvise. And it's not easy to
Explain.
answer to your
Right.
question, because I have to open a lot
Right.
of chapters,
And
that
the crazy thing about it is that it's different every. It should be different every time. So how can you explain something that's going to be different every time, or how could you practice something that's going to be different every time? That.
uh,
I mean, you answered my question. But like I said, I didn't want to keep you. Yes, I do. I wish I could see you play the bass right now, but we can't do that. You're in the hotel room. But before we go, I got one last little question. Is how do we continue to follow you? I know how to get a hold of you, but it might be somebody that today this might be their first day, or when I edit this, it might be their first time picking up a computer and seeing you. And how do we keep up with you and follow you, or and good stuff like that? You got your own websites and Facebook and all of that.
yeah, I have my Facebook page that is Federico Malaman original, and or I have my private Facebook page, but I have reached all
Yeah,
the friends, but
yeah. You reached the
the
limit.
person can follow me, because I have a lot of person that follow my personal page. They are around 90,000 of person
Right.
that are.
So yeah,
So
I meant to ask you that, man. So look, when I pull up your Facebook page, it says friend request pending. So what you got to do for me is you got to go delete somebody and then accept. Cause,
I will not delete anybody, but I wait that they will delete me, and so I can add you. But
cause,
I will do it. I will do
cause I
it.
mean, again, you wanted to, and it's not just me. It's a lot of awesome bass players that put you up there, and we enjoy listening to you
Thank you.
with your beautiful smile, and you're having so much fun when you're doing it. That's what makes it pleasurable for me to sit there and watch it, and then also just listening. I've listened to some recordings without watching you, and it's the compositions is awesome, man. Everything is awesome. And I wanted to tell you that, and I finally got to tell you that. So, in closing, is there anything you like to say before I let you go about Detroit, or about because we love you out here? Anything you like to say in closing to bass players around the world? Because this show, my show, is
The
you.
thing is, the thing I can say it in Italian language. I don't know if I can translate it literary exactly what I think. The thing is, the bass is a voice, and so don't limitate that instrument, because the instrument has a lot of possibility to being played. And so there are slapping, there are tapping, there are, I don't know, like
Flamenco.
flamenco guitar. Remember that the name of this bass, this instrument, is guitar bass. Okay, and so if somebody will do chops that you can't do, don't be envy. It's okay. Don't be envy. Be happy and try to do it, because We have a great instrument. We have a very we can we can make the people dancing with our instrument, but we can sing with our instrument too. And so the thing is, we can do chords. It's okay. Um, every music has something particular that you have to do with the bass. Of course, if I am in a Motown sound, I will do not chords with my bass. Of
Right.
course, no. But if I have a singer with me, why not to put chords like guitar?
Exactly.
We have a great instrument. Don't limitate it only to think that bass is only for strings. The bass has to be ignorant, you know. The bass player has to. For me, the bass player is like a guitar player, is like a piano player, is like
Drum,
is like
like a drummer.
yeah. And so you have to know more things you know, better is for you, for the musicians around you, I think. Don't be, of course, don't be rude and don't be, you know, envy, or say something that is not good. If you don't like sounds, if you don't like something, uh, don't say, you can say I don't like and stop. But I
Exactly.
think, yeah, don't be haters.
Right.
Why? Why?
Exactly. Oh,
And
oh,
so
oh.
the
Go ahead.
the thing is, you have to study. You have Everybody has to study.
You hear that, bass
This is,
players? You hear what he's saying, bass players? You have to study this. There's no joke. If you want to get good,
you have to
you
study.
you got to put in the work. So,
Yeah.
well look, Federico, man, I want to thank you very much for hanging
Thank
out
you.
with me and Detroit bass players in the basement, except we in the Skype world now. We're in the cloud now. I want to thank you
Thank you
very
very much.
much, man.
I
And
hope to join you in your show. I hope one day.
yeah, if you ever make it to Detroit, man, I'm gonna look for you, and we're gonna make it happen. We'll come to you, whatever it takes, man. And again, thank you, man. And
Thank you.
folks, I hope you enjoyed this. Bass players around the world, listen to what he said, and we're gonna close this with a video clip of you. And I'd like to thank you very much.
Thank you.